knew exactly what love looked like in 7th grade.
Even though I hadn't met love yet, if love had wandered into my homeroom, I would have recognized him at first glance. Love wore a hemp necklace.
I would have recognized her at first glance. Love wore a tight French braid.
Love played acoustic guitar and knew all my favorite Beatles songs.
Love.
Good morning, 8th grade. That was some slam poetry, and maybe if we have some time we can listen to some more at the end. So we've started our unit on free verse poetry. And as you remember, free verse poetry is that kind of poetry that doesn't have a regular rhythm, it doesn't have a certain line length, and it doesn't have a rhyme scheme. It just follows the natural pattern of our speech, and it's the most popular kind of poetry in North America today, and what people really like to read and what poets really like to write. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to start with a poem. And this poem is called Let Evening Come, and it's written by Jane Kenyon. Let the light of late afternoon shine through the chinks in the barn, moving up the bales as the sun moves down. Let the crickets take up chafing, as a woman takes up her needles and her yarn. Let evening come. Let dew collect on the hoe abandoned in the long grass. Let the stars appear and the moon disclose her silver horn. Let the fox go back to its sandy den. Let the wind die down. Let the shed go black inside. Let evening come. To the bottle in the ditch, to the scoop in the oats, to air in lung, let evening come. Let it come as it will, and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless. So let evening come. So that's written by Jane Kenyon, and it's called Let Evening Come. So it has some repetition in it, doesn't it? So we talked about poems, and we talked about how poems are that form of genre in literature that really deals the most with feelings. And where do our feelings lie? Well, we always feel our feelings lie right in our hearts, don't we? And we did some heart mapping the other day in class where we wrote down things that are really important to us and mean a lot to us. So I did another heart map for myself last evening, and I'll just show you some of the things I wrote on it. So in the middle I have the names of my 5 children because they're important to me. I have things like chocolate because I love chocolate, indie bookstores because I love the way they curate their collection of books for sale. I love Christmas, I love earrings, I love pottery stores and the smell of ocean and sea glass. I love reading, I love lilacs, I love lilacs, I love shoes and vintage stores. So those are the kind of things I like, and you keep your heart map with you because it's such a great source of finding ideas for poems. And when you think of something else, just squeeze it in another place. That's the great thing about this. There's all kinds of little places you can squeeze things in, and I do that sometimes. Sometimes you get an inspiration from one of your classmates. Now the other thing we talked about was where do the ideas for poems come from? And they really are hidden anywhere. So I brought some things today. I scoured through my house last night and brought some things to show you to see if maybe you can have an inspiration for a poem from some of the things. For example, here I have this little rabbit and her little boy, I guess, and he's got his backpack on, and it's the first day of school. So that might be something that inspires you. I have some pieces of wood here. Maybe you've built something with your father or your mother, and that's a good memory for you to remember. Or the smell of wood when it's cut. Did you just get a new dog, or you have a dog you really love? Maybe when you were little you wanted to be a firefighter, or you wanted to be a policeman and what that felt like, or you loved to watch the fire trucks come out of their station. Do you like cookies, or do you like baking with your mom or your dad, or maybe your grandma? Maybe you're like me and you love the ocean. There's a shell, a nice shell from the ocean. Do you have a favorite sweater that maybe your grandmother knit you? Maybe you love Christmas. There's a Christmas angel. There's a Christmas sleigh with some candy canes in it. Maybe you love puzzles. Maybe you love to play sports and you've won some awards. Maybe those things can be part of your puzzle. Maybe you really are artistic. I have some paintbrushes and some markers here. Or you love to go camping. Here's some marshmallows and some chocolate. You love to eat s'mores maybe. What else do we have here? let's see, maybe you hurt yourself somewhere. Maybe that's something you can remember, and you can remember all the things about that in your poem. I saw these last night and I remembered my sister who always had her nails painted beautifully. I remembered her. Maybe you're someone who really loves books. I have a book of Harry Potter. What I really love, and I'm going to show you, is sea glass. So there's some sea glass. And when you think of something like this, what you can do is you can write down 3 sentences. So that's what I did when I saw those. I wrote down 3 sentences about it. First of all, I wrote down, I can hear the seagulls. I can smell the ocean. I can taste my picnic lunch. I can smell the coconut sunscreen. And you can use those sentences and you can take them and make a poem out of them. So I want you tonight on the flip grid, first of all, walk around your house, or if you saw something here that I showed you that can be an inspiration, you can use that as well. And I want you to write down 3 sentences about something that you found hidden in your house. That can be part of a poem, something that's important to you. And you can put that on your video and you have 5 minutes to tell me about it, tell me about your sentences and why that thing is important to you. So that's it for today. We're a little bit over time, but I think we'll finish with just a little bit more of that slam poetry as we go out today. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to hearing your videos and seeing what is important to you and your sentences that you wrote. See you in class next time. Bye-bye.
Wasn't afraid to ride the bus with me. And I knew.
I just must be checking the wrong classroom.
Just must be searching the wrong hallways. She was there. I was sure of it.
If only I could find him.
But when love finally showed up, she had a bowl cut